Now we can create our controllers and providers, right? So we're going to close this file and we're going to close this terminal as well. Let's open our sidebar. Inside our features, to do, and application folder, we're going to create our controller. So we name it to-dos controller .dart. So the structure is very similar to the one we already did for our to-do and to-do state classes. So there will be a little bit different, and I'll explain them once we like start coding. So the first one is like using part. We need to specify the name of the file to be generated. So this has to match. This has to match with the current file name. To-dos controller, and instead of freezed, we're going to use .g.dart. Okay, this is the difference. And now we need to use @Riverpod annotation. So this will work. This works the same as like similar to that @freezed annotation. So when we run our code generator, it will look for that @Riverpod annotation, and it will look right under it. And based on the template written below that, it will generate the code for our provider or controller inside this file. Okay, I hope this makes sense. So let's actually import our Riverpod annotation as well. So import, so we say Riverpod annotation, Riverpod annotation, we have that, and the name should be Riverpod annotation.dart. I hope that's the name. Yeah, I think that's the name. So we're going to create our class. So we name it as to-dos controller, and we're going to extend the class created inside that underscore $sign to-dos controller. Okay, so it works the same way as that freezed package. So once our to-dos controller is generated inside this file, it will have an empty build method, something like that, and we need to return state from that. So the state will be our to-dos state. And if you remember, we have that initial state, we're going to return that. So it will be this to-do state. Okay, before we move on to our custom methods, let's actually generate our provider code inside this file. Okay, we open our terminal, we run our Dart run build runner build -d command. Let's run it, and you can see the errors are gone. Let's close the terminal, and you can see we have this to-dos controller.g.dart file is generated as well. So we have all of the code here. We can close it. Now let's create our first custom method. The first one is add to-do method. So we're gonna pass title of that to-do, and first of all we will actually check if the title contains some empty spaces on the left or on the right side. Okay, so we create a new trimmed title variable, and we grab our title and we basically trim our title. All right, if after trimmed this trimmed title is empty, if no title exists after trimmed, then we will just return it. If you want, you can show some message here, but I just want to return. I just don't want to do anything here. Okay, you can just show any message or anything, any logic can be written inside this here by like making this like this. For example, you can say print please provide title. Okay, I just put the print. You can put your own logic here if you want. So the next one is after it passes from this if statement, if the case is false, and then we can create our to-do variable, a new to-do. We get that to-do state, to-do class or model. Okay, let's actually put it down here. like that. For the ID, we're gonna use our date time object. We're gonna get current time, and we use milliseconds since epoch. If you want, you can use microseconds as well if you want this to be much safer. So for now, for our example case, milliseconds since epoch is enough. So we change this to string because our ID is string. For the title, we don't use title, but we use this trimmed title. And for is completed, because this to do is new, we set it to false. Usually when the task is created, it's not completed. Okay. And then after that, what we want to do, we will grab our state. We have state here. This state, actually the state of this controller, like this will control our UI. Whenever we change this state, it will affect the UI wherever this state is used. Okay, this state comes from this file. Okay, the file we generated, the code we generated, right? If you are confused about that, I'll just mention it here. So we'll set this state to, we actually grab our state. Instead of setting the value directed to this, a new value, we want to grab our old state and we'll just update that. Okay, we use copy with. It has copy with method, and we're gonna set to-dos list we're gonna add our new to-do, but we need to keep our existing to-dos as well. So for that, we can grab our state again, and here we can grab all of our to-dos. We cannot put all the to-dos inside here, otherwise in this case it would make this to-dos like nested to-do. We don't want that. We just want to use spread operator. So basically all of the to-dos at the end, add our new to-do here. We are updating state just like that. So this is how you can update state in Riverpod. All right, Riverpod is like built around the immutability concept. So if you want to update the state, you need to destroy the old state and create a new state. So that's how it works as far as I understand. All right, our next method is toggle to do. This method will be responsible for marking our task as done or not done. Okay, so we create this as a void as well, and we name it as toggle to do, and we'll pass the ID of the task. And here we will create a new variable, name it updated to do, and we grab our state again. Now we get the to-dos from that state, and we are gonna loop through that. On each to-do, we're gonna first check if to-do.id matches or doesn't match. Okay, equal to ID we passed. If that's the case, if it doesn't match, we just return current to-do. Okay, otherwise we'll return our to-do. We just use copy with method to update its properties, the one we need. The one we need is completed, right? So we're gonna use that is completed, and we grab to do again. Because we are toggling it, we're gonna set the is completed, but we want to reverse this. Whatever value this is completed is, it will be the reversed value of it. Okay, so now we have this updated. We can go down, and right under it we can grab our state again, and we grab the old state. We use that copy with method again, and here we use that to-dos. We grab that to-dos. We'll just update the to-dos to our updated to-do, not to-do, actually to-dos it should be, because it's multiple. Okay, just like that. So copy with to-dos, updated to-dos. What's that? It says the argument, oops, the argument type iterable. Okay, it's iterable. We need to actually convert it to list. Okay, now it should work just fine. Our next method is delete to do. Okay, we want to be able to delete our tasks as well. So we name it delete to do. We pass the ID of the to do we want to delete, and here we grab our state and we assign the modified alt state. Okay, we use copy with method, and here we update the to dos. Okay, like this. So here I want to create another list. Let's say updated to dos, and here we can say we can grab our state, all the to dos of that state, and we're gonna use where method to loop through all the to dos and get the ones we need. Okay, so we can say to do just like that, and we're gonna check if the current to do ID doesn't match the ID we passed. Okay, now we are getting all the to dos. We are using where method to check to loop through each to do, and we are comparing the ID. If the ID doesn't match and we get that to do, we add that to our list. If it matches, we just skip it. Okay, that's what we are doing, and we just grab this updated to dos and we put it here. Okay, because this is a iterable, we want to convert this to list. All right, now let's save it.